welcome here to TalkFCB and welcome back to the channel here today, guys, where we do indeed have plenty to catch up on from the past few days and also looking forward to another really important weekend for Barca. So we're going to be discussing the Copa del Rey in today's video, as also today the draw has been made for the semi-final. We're also going to be discussing the latest Barca news. There's a few fitness concerns ahead of the game at the weekend, and of course we have big debate today on Robert Lewandowski and Ferran Torres, all ahead of our game against Mallorca on Saturday. It is all on the way for you today, guys. I hope that you're all doing well. So come on, and let's get to it. Because if we do indeed begin with the Copa del Rey, and first of all we have to talk about Tuesday night's victory over Albacete in the quarter-final there. I thought Barca handled the job well enough. You know, ultimately we got the job done. We avoided any big upset, of course, something that Real Madrid couldn't do against them in the round where, of course, they were eliminated by Albacete. So Barca there with goals from Lamine Yamal. There was also a nice one, a nice moment really for Ronald Araujo getting back on the score sheet there, and also a nice moment with him alongside of Hansi Flick. Now, Albacete did get one back with only a few minutes to go in the game. Things had the potential to get a bit nervy, but nothing really materialised from that, thankfully. So we are on to the semi-final now. But I just want to talk here about Lamine Yamal, because for me, looking at the last matches he's played, he's got 4 goals now in his past 4 games, and I think he's been putting in some really good performances there. It's not just about the goals, and a lot of them, by the way, have been sublime quality. Really good, really fantastic finishes from him, but I just think his performance level, it's ticked up over the past few weeks in my opinion, because I honestly believe that Yamal started the season a little bit slowly, and I think we all whisper that, we all say that they're a little bit tongue-in-cheek, because obviously we know Yamal was still great, he was still playing at such an incredible level, but we all know with him, so much is expected. The expectations are through the roof when it comes to Yamal, and I just thought he started the season a little bit under maybe where he was at the end of last season. But what I would say right now is he is hitting form. He is definitely getting into his stride. And what you'd say is that is perfect timing. Of all the times throughout the season that you want to be at your best, that you want to be really pushing towards your best level, it's in these final months of the season right here, when the knockout games begin, when the Champions League latter stages are upon you. So to see Yamal playing so well, playing with confidence, scoring goals as well, and high quality goals at that, for all of Barca right now, that is phenomenal news. But indeed, guys, thinking right here about the Copa del Rey, obviously this afternoon we did have the draw for the semi-final stage of the Copa. Now we are getting to the business end of the tournament, and we have been drawn against Atletico Madrid. Now, of all the teams that were left in the draw there, Real Sociedad, they're going to be coming up against Athletic in the Basque Derby. Atleti, that is a mouth-watering tie there. I remember in the Copa del Rey now, the semi-final is played over 2 legs, and what we are going to see here is Barca going away for that first leg at the Metropolitano. That's actually going to be coming up next week, so very soon that game is coming. And then what you'll have is the second leg at the beginning of March, back at the Camp Nou. And I just think it's been so long here since we've had a big knockout game, 2-legged tie, second leg, back at our own stadium, in front of the fans at the Camp Nou. That's going to be phenomenal. That is going to be a great occasion there. Fantastic atmosphere. And I think Atleti, they're going to be a serious challenge. Over 2 legs, especially they're going away, first of all, very soon, because in the quarterfinal, they were electric against Real Betis, guys. They were absolutely phenomenal. They blew them away, 5-0 away at Betis. And what you'd also have to say is, Ademola Lookman, brand new signing there in January. Atleti really looking to strengthen those forward areas. He was brilliant. He has hit the ground running as a new Atleti player. Diego Simeone is in love with him right now. Looks like a really good signing. So I'm excited for those games against Atleti. They are going to test us, like I say. Atleti, maybe they're going to start finding some form. They've been really underwhelming for most of the season. The Copa, realistically, is one of their big hopes for a title this season, and it should be a brilliant 2-legged encounter. But away from the cup competitions right now, guys, if we do move our focus to this weekend, this Saturday up against Mallorca there, it's going to be coming on Saturday, 4:15 local time at home, so again in front of our own fans. And of course, it's a big game. We say it every single weekend right now in La Liga. Things are still tight. We are only 1 point clear at the top of the league. Real Madrid continue to struggle. They continue to labour their way through games, but ultimately, they are still there. And until we're out of sight, we must keep winning. Now, this weekend against Mallorca, they are in 14th place in La Liga. They're only 2 points above the drop zone. They have been, quite, again, not great this season. The form hasn't been great. But what you would have to say, they were brilliant on Monday. They actually come into this game off the back of a 4-1 win against Sevilla. So they do have a bit of confidence behind them. They do also have a number of former Barca players, of course, amongst their ranks. So Mallorca here, they will be coming into this game with something to prove. And in terms of Barca, in terms of the fitness issues ahead of this game, we are still not going to be able to count upon Raphinha. He is out of this game. Missed the game, of course, in midweek against Albacete. That was with a little bit of a muscle problem, just a bit of an overload, really. They wanted to rest him for that game. He did not train today, so he won't be involved tomorrow, but he should be back, we're hearing, against Atletico Madrid. He's the kind of guy that you will definitely want in those semi-final games, somebody with so much intensity to their game, somebody who will work hard across the board. But Raphinha, he is going to miss here his second successive game. Maybe he needed a bit of time out of the team. He is somebody who works incredibly hard. It has been a demanding season yet again for him, but unfortunately we won't be able to call upon him tomorrow. The good news, though, looking at injury problems right now that Barca have, the good news is Pedri is looking good. Now, again, he won't be in this game. He's not going to be coming back just yet. But after Raphinha comes back, it could then be Pedri's turn. We are hearing in the media right now, maybe around February 22nd in the game against Levante, Pedri might be able to make his return in that one. That will be absolutely fantastic news, although I do think we've coped relatively well without him. I was worried when Pedri was ruled out for an extended period. You're thinking, how are you going to cope? What are you going to do in midfield without Pedri running the show? But we have managed to get through some more favourable games, you'd have to say, without him. But it's not just about him either. Don't forget about Gavi. Obviously he spent a lot of time out injured, not only this season, but going back now several seasons. It has been a really, really tough time for him with injuries, but he is getting better and better and better too. He's starting to train more now. He's expected there to be given the medical green light, apparently by the end of this month. So it might be a few weeks' time that we start seeing Gavi more and more rejoining the group there for the full sessions. And again, it's going to be another important player, another high quality midfielder that should be back in our squad, that should be back available again, right in time for the most important months of the season. All of this is looking promising. However, guys, we do have to move on now to the attacking areas. Now, this is a situation, big news breaking in the media today, and it's a real situation here that I want to get your thoughts on. I want to get your real feelings about this, because I do believe there are some strong ones out there right now. So let's go through the whole situation, and then we'll get on to some opinions. Because basically, the big news today is regarding Robert Lewandowski, is that Barca are now very, very open to giving him a renewal at the end of the season. Obviously, his contract right now, it is set to expire at the end of the campaign. He would be set to become a free agent and leave the club. But Barca now, they're starting to think about opening talks with him about a 1-year extension on that deal. But significantly, it is going to have to be on very much reduced wages, and he would have to accept there's something that I think he already has, realistically, a secondary role within the squad. He's not going to be an automatic starter. He's not going to be playing all the time. He is going to have a secondary role, because don't forget as well, he is 38 years old in August, and ultimately nobody can run away from age. It catches up with each and every one of us, unfortunately. So Lewandowski, he's in the position here whereby he would have to accept lower wages, and he would have to accept lower game time. But I think he would do that because he really wants to stay in Barcelona. He's even gone as far to sort of, allude to the fact that if he wasn't renewed at Barca, he could actually retire from the game, because he and his wife are very, very happy in the city. It's where they've always wanted to be. That's one of the big reasons why he came here. So he does want to stay at the club. If possible, it could very well happen. Now, the big thing for me is that obviously Lewandowski, he would be staying, hypothetically, if he did sign that renewal, he would then be second in the pecking order behind Ferran Torres, because Barca right now are also apparently very happy with Ferran. They want to keep him at the club. They're also thinking about extending his contract, making him a long-term player at this club, basically putting all of their faith in him as the number 9 at Barca. He is the chosen one. As of right now, as of this moment in time, he is the player that Barca are banking on to lead the line. Now, my question to you is that how it should be? Because I've got to be honest with you guys, right now we're in February, we're looking ahead to the summer, but my feeling was, okay, you've got one of the biggest earners of the club in Lewandowski. It looks like he's going to be moving on. It looks as though maybe then we'll be saving on all of those wages, and surely there would be an opportunity then to go into the market, to go out and maybe pursue a top number 9. Bring in somebody for the long term who is going to step into those massive shoes that Lewandowski will leave behind. Now, do I think that's Ferran Torres? Now, I don't doubt that Ferran has quality. I don't doubt that he's added to our team and that he does have value, and he's certainly played his part. But is he the man to lead us to the biggest titles? Is he somebody that in the biggest of Champions League games, in big moments, when a chance appears, when you need to be clinical, when the game is on the line, is he your man? Is he somebody there that you can hang your hat on and you can be fully confident, fully secure in your decision? And I just don't know. Are we ultimately saying here, we're just going to stick with what we've got? We've got Lewandowski this season. We've got Ferran Torres this season. Let's just go into next season like that. We're not going to change it. We don't feel like we need to. Because what I would say about Barca, it's different maybe to other top teams. You look at Arsenal right now, for example. They are outstanding. They've been absolutely brilliant this season. They don't really have a top number 9. They've actually struggled there in that department. But what they do have is a rock-solid defence. It's not as though they're reliant on goals to win. They don't have to score because they've got a rock-solid foundation. Now, the thing with Barca is, because of the system that we play, because of the way we are very, very open, we're very attack-minded, and that's great, but you need goals. You need somebody to constantly provide goal after goal after goal. And are we just happy to stick with what we've got? Are we happy going into next season with a 38-year-old Lewandowski and Ferran Torres as your chosen one, as your outright number 9? I don't know. With Barca over the years, we have gotten accustomed to getting the best, particularly number 9s. We have consistently gone after the top names, the top talent to lead us to glory. When we've won the Champions League, when we've been at the pinnacle of football, we have had the best attacking players. We have had top number 9s there at the club. And is this enough? Is this enough? This current setup, the current players that we have, is it enough to go into next season like it too? That's what I want to know, guys. In the comments down below, I think we're all emotional right now about that. I think we all have very strong opinions on where we want the club to go, what we want them to do this summer. And please do let me know what you are feeling right now, all ahead of this weekend, which, like I say, is another important game in La Liga, guys. So great to be here with you. I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate your patience here on the channel. It really, really does mean a lot to me. I will be back with you soon with more uploads, with more consistency. Don't worry about that. It will happen, and hopefully imminently. But until then, guys, enjoy the weekend, enjoy the game. But until next time, as always, Vesca, el Barça.